Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Just the other day I was at Giant Robot Comics, and I noticed that they had only a couple packs left of the Unstable set on their shelves. So I thought, why not? I may as well pick these up. They actually had 3 packs left, but one of them had different art, which I actually want to keep. But these 2 packs have the exact same artwork as the first one that I bought. And like I said, I just like the packaging of the Unstable set so much that I actually want to kind of keep those as like a collector's thing. And I mean, they've been there for quite some time, and I think people were pretty well done picking these up. But again, I thought it'd just be kind of a cool thing to actually go ahead and purchase these and show these off on camera, because I never did get to open up the other one. So like I said, I got these 2 packs here. We're just going to go right into it. So I guess this will be sort of like a Monday Night Magic thing. So we'll open up the first pack here. And for me, this is the first time opening any unset, so which is really cool. I would love to see if I could find a booster pack of each of the other 2 unsets. I know one of them had sort of like a paper bag kind of feel to the packaging. I'd love to see if I can get one of each of those just to have as a collection, because in my opinion, I actually think that the unsets are awesome because they're just fun. It's instead of everything being so serious or competitive, it's just all about having fun, which in my opinion is really cool. So I'm going to go through and just read each of these off. So this is the Numbing Jellyfish, and this is a host creature, so it has a when this creature enters the battlefield. And I think there's cards that you can do that have like you can kind of play someone. Hopefully I'll get another one to kind of show. But if you just play this card as it is, you roll a 6-sided die. Target player puts top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, where the result is X. So you roll a 6-sided dice. If you roll 3, they would put their top 3 cards into their library, and it's a 2/3 creature, which is really cool. And then we got Really Epic Punch. Well, actually, I'm just going to put this down. I think this might work a little bit better, just to prevent like shaky hand, which can happen. I know a lot of times when you are when I see a lot of people opening cards on YouTube, they tend to zoom in and their hands get really shaky. So this is Really Epic Punched. So it's 1 and a green. Target creature you control gets +2/+2. If it's a host creature or has augment, then it fights target creature you don't control. So that's pretty cool. Alright, and then we have Go to Jail. When Go to Jail enters battlefield, exile target creature until opponent controls a creature controls until Go to Jail leaves the battlefield. At the beginning of your upkeep, if the exiled card's owner it's basically the Monopoly thing. So at the beginning of the upkeep of the exiled card's owner, that player rolls 2 6-sided dice. If he or she rolls doubles, sacrifice Go to Jail. So that's kind of cool. And actually, I'm going to be honest, I like the silver borders. I don't know how well they show up in camera, but they actually look kind of nice and shiny, and it's just kind of cool. Like I said, I don't think these are really worth anything for the most part, but it's still, a pretty cool looking set. And again, I just like the more lighthearted aspect of it. This, to me, would be a more fun way to play Magic than, going to events and everyone just takes it so seriously. So I like stuff like this. So we have Finders Keepers, which is 5 and a black. Destroy target creature, then assemble a contraption. Put the top card of your contraption deck face up onto one of your sprockets. So I don't know too much about that, unfortunately. The sneak code. Oh, that's just the flavor text. Never mind. Maybe you can read it there if you want. Get it to focus. All right, and then we have Just Desserts. So 1 and a red. It's an instant. Just Desserts deals pi damage to a target creature. Pi is a ratio of a circle circumference to its diameter. It's a smidgen more than 3. So like I said, I think that's actually kind of, again, clever and kind of funny. I like it. Like I said, I like this set. I kind of wish I would have actually bought more of it. So we have another host creature here. So this is the Big Boa Constrictor. So it's a 1/2 for 4. When it enters battlefield, roll 6-sided dice. Target opponent loses life equal to the result. Extremely slow zombie, so it has Last Strike. This creature deals damage, or deals combat damage after creatures without last strike. So, yeah, really, really slow. I also know they had, like, was it Super Haste before, where they actually got to act a turn before you cast them, before you had to pay the mana. Staff of the Letter Magus. So this is kind of cool. The staff of the red magi and green one. I used to have some of these in my what was it? Duels of the Planeswalker, Arena of the Planeswalker. No, Duels of the Planeswalker for the Xbox. And the decks that I had all these staffs in there, so you gained a life. But this one here, as Staff of the Letter Magus enters the battlefield, choose a consonant other than N, R, S, or T. Whenever a player casts a spell, you gain 1 life for each time the chosen letter appears in that spell's name. Wow. Old-fashioned vampire. So it is 3 and 2 black for a 3/3 flying. Old-fashioned vampire gets +2/+2 and has death touch as long as it's dark outdoors. So that's pretty cool. That's so that was the second uncommon. Whoops. So that's a huge spoiler, but all right. So we have Skull Saucer. So this is 4 and 2 black for a 4/1 flying. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and put your head on the table. Sacrifice Skull Saucer when your head stops touching the table. And then we do have a foil. So, so this is a foil uncommon. So this is a monkey. So let's just have a look here. So this has an ability. It just says whenever a non-token creature you control dies, and then it doesn't say anything else. And then it has augment. So for 2 and a green, reveal this card from your hand, combine it with target host, augment only as a sorcery, and it gets +2/+2. So I'm just gonna set this aside here before we get to our rare. So let's just say we have a, so this is how it works. Let's just pan up just a little bit. So let's just say you, so you reveal it from your hand, and you create a monkey jellyfish. So it gets +2/+2, so with 2/3 becomes a 4/5. And it has whenever a non-token creature you control dies, roll a 6-sided dice. Target puts the top X cards of his or her library into the graveyard, where X is the result. So you get to use it a little bit more often, and it's just kind of silly. And then of course you also have with the big boa constrictor. So let's go ahead and augment that with a monkey constrictor. So it is a creature monkey snake. It is a 3/2, and whenever a non-token creature control dies, roll 6-sided dice. Target opponent loses life equal to the result. So again, that's pretty cool. That's a really cool concept. I actually like this concept, and it's something that I think would be kind of neat in the actual Magic game. You know, it doesn't have to be as silly as these, but I still think it's something that's actually pretty cool, and I like it. It's got a weird foiling, though. I don't know how it's going to show up. There's like a little foil spot underneath its face. Like right... Again, I don't know how... There it is. It kind of shows up there. I don't know if that's a misprint or, like, it's hard to see the art. Anyway, but that's really cool. And then we have our rare. And our rare is As Luck Would Have It. So it's 1 green, it's an enchantment that's hexproof. Whenever you roll a die, put a number of luck counters on as luck would have it, equal to the result. Then, if there are 100 or more luck counters on as luck would have it, you win the game. Count both rolls if you re-roll a die. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, and then we have... So this is the main thing that this set, I think, was really well known for, is their lands, their full art lands, and this is pretty amazing. So this is just a swamp, but I mean, again, you know, there's no reason why Wizards of the Coast can't sort of do this for their lands. I mean, these look amazing, and I think it'd be cool to actually have like this for their art. You know, you don't have to have full art lands in every set, but when you do, like, this is a really great way of having them look. I really love it. And there is so Pet Project. So this is a okay, so there's contraptions, I guess, in here as well. So Pet Project, it's an artifact contraption. When you Whenever you crank Pet Project, put target creature card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. And we've got another card underneath here. So let's just have, I just want to see this here. So it says, start the game with a crank, counter on Sprocket 3. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a contraption, move crank counter, or move the crank counter to the next Sprocket and crank any number of that Sprocket's contraptions. Okay. Still don't quite know what that is, but we've got, that's a mythic one. I don't think there's much value to those, unfortunately. But then you have Top Secret Tunnel. So it's an artifact contraption. Whenever you crank Top Secret Tunnel, target creature can't be blocked this turn. So again, that's kind of cool. And I like the art on these too. You know, it's kind of more of a full art kind of thing. Doesn't have the borders. It's just, again, these are nice ways for the cards to look. I like these a lot. And then we have a foil Fairy's Spy token. So it has its 1/1 Flying Haste. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So that's really cool. I don't know if all the tokens are actually I don't know if all the tokens in this set were actually foil or not, so that's kind of neat. I'm just going to set that aside. And we're just going to move on to our second pack here. So I kind of wish I could have gone to a draft or something for this set, because I think that would have been a lot of fun, but it's just one of those things that just never really had the funds for. And again, I think the scene's a little bit too competitive up here. I'm not a competitive player. I just want to have fun, and I mean, I think that's what this set's all about. But honestly, I don't think that would have been my experience. Not that the people up here are bad by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, they actually seem really, friendly and decent. But it's just one of those things that they do still seem very, very competitive, and that's something that I'm just not a big fan of. It's not the way that I play these games. I play these games to have fun. And I don't care if I win or lose. And a lot of times I have more fun losing than winning. Anyway, our first creature here is a humming creature. So it's a bird, and it's got flying whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, and then this has augment, so for 3 and a white, you can combine it with a host creature. So let's just set this aside, and let's just host it. So we have a humming jellyfish. Oh. So there you go, it gets +2/+3, so it becomes a 4/6. Just again, really cool. I like these host creatures and augment creatures. I think they're really cool. Alright. Up next we have Blurry Beeble. So this is an artifact creature, Cyborg Beeble for 1. It's a 1/1 for 1. It has Blurry. This creature can be blocked only if player was wearing glasses as it was cast. Wow. Defending player. Whenever Blurry Beeble deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Then we got a Wild Crocodile, so this is another augment creature. When it enters the battlefield, so for 1 and a green, it's a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. And then, of course, if you combine it with, say, our humming creature, our Humming Crocodile is whenever you attack 2 or more creatures, you search your library for a basic land card. So again, like I said, I think this is a really cool mechanic. I like it. Oh. Chivalrous Chevalier. So this is a so for 4 and a white, it's a 3/3 Cyborg Knight with flying. When it enters the battlefield, return a creature you control to its owner's hand unless you complement an opponent. And it says here, I treat every foe accordingly to the highest codes of conducts, then I kill them. Alright, we got Hammer Helper. So for 3 and a red, sorcery, gain control of target creature until the end of turn. Untap that creature, then roll a 6-sided die. Until end of turn, it gains haste and gets +X/+0, where X is the die result. Steady-handed Mook. 2 and a black for a 1/1. Death Touch. When Steady Mook enters the battlefield, it assembles a contraption, which we kind of saw the things for earlier. Then we have a Feisty Stegosaurus. So when it enters battlefield, so it's 4 and a red for a 2/1. When it enters battlefield, roll a 6-sided die. This creature deals damage equal to the result to target creature an opponent controls. Mad Science Fair Project. So for 3, it's an artifact. Roll a 6-sided die, and a 3 or lower. Target player adds 1 colorless to their mana pool. Otherwise, that player adds 1 mana of any color he or she chooses to her mana pool. Knight of the Widget, our first uncommon. So it's a cyborg knight. For 2 and a white. It's got vigilance. Its power and toughness is equal to the number of Order of Widget water markers among permanents, which I'm assuming is that, so it's at least a 1/1. And I think we had our Chivalrous Knight, which had one on there as well, so if you had that out, it would be a 2/2. And if you had our Blurry Beeble, it would be a 3/3. So that's, again, kind of neat. Whoop. Alright, so now we have our half-orc, half-something. So it's got Trample at the beginning of each end step if an opponent was dealt damage this turn, and then you can augment it so you can add it for 1 and 2 red. And so we've already seen a bunch of these. I'm not going to show it again how it works. Then we have first pick. So destroy artifact or enchantment, assemble a contraption that's 3 and a green. And then, whoops, our rare is a mythic. So that's pretty cool. We got Old Buzzbark. So it's a X, red, and green legendary creature goblin warrior. When it enters the battlefield, roll X 6-sided dice onto the battlefield from a height of at least X inches. For each die, put a number of 1/1 counters equal to the result on each creature you control that the die is touching. For each die, Old Buzzbark deals damage equal to the result to each creature an opponent controls that the die is touching. So if it lands on your opponent's cards, they take damage equal to whatever the die result is. If it lands on one of your cards, you get a +1/+1. So that's, again, kind of neat. Whoops. And here we have the island, which again just looks really cool, just really nice. I love the art style. I love the way that they have it on the top there, the thing on the bottom. It just, no borders around it. Just looks like a really nice card. So I like that quite a bit. Then we have the Lackey Recycler. So this is a contraption. Whenever you crank Lackey Recycler, put a target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Then you have Auto Key. So whenever you crank Auto Key until end of turn, target creature becomes an artifact in addition to its other types, and gains you can tap to gain 3 life. And then we have a foil. So they must be foil. The tokens must be foil, but you have a foil goblin token, which is really cool. And I have the Merfolk versus Goblins dual deck, so I'm going to sleeve this up, and I'm going to put that in with the other tokens, because I think that's really cool. Precognition. Complete the statement now that is complete, the world will... Anyway, again, just really cool stuff. So those were, again, just some openings for the unstable set of Magic the Gathering. So like I said, I do have 2 other packs, but they have different artwork on them that I kind of want to keep. Just keep the pack sealed. Just because, again, it's a really cool set. They're, very few and far between. I don't think this is going to be like a regularly occurring thing. So for me, I'm totally okay with, holding on to a couple. I'm not going to play any of these cards in all likelihood, so these are just ones that are kind of, a nice little curiosity. But that's probably as far as they're going to go. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of the Unstable set. If you played any drafts, let me know how some of the games went, because I think it's something that, again, I would have enjoyed if it weren't for the hyper-competitive nature of players here in the city that I live. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.